On the screen. Howdy, everybody. We're talking about the NBA MVP odds, the sale of the Commanders, the journey of Lamar Jackson, and so much more. Hi, everybody. It's your brother's an idiot. What? I know. He just left. For those of you who can't see what happened, Mark was on the screen and then Mark walked away.
Okay.
Like, I'm just going to leave.
I wanted to see what would happen. I didn't think you guys would actually react to it that fast.
You guys go chase him. I'm just going to go over here and walk in a circle.
You guys go that way. You guys go that way. I'm just going to walk right here in a circle.
I'm going to walk around in a circle. Yeah, so welcome to My Brother's an Idiot, the podcast where we discuss sports, geekery, food, and whatever else tickles our fancy. And we are damn glad that you are here. Welcome. Let me kick you around the entire squad. My name is Matt. I'm the king of the goons, holding down the extreme Southern Command, the owner and proprietor of Knox Nostalgic Collectibles. He is Tank. What is going on, my friend?
Not much. Self haircuts for my children, apparently.
So good.
So that's it. Just
That's
haircut.
That's most of my week. Let's just put it that way.
But before we jumped in, it sounded like World War III on the other side of that door.
I
That
think
would
they're all
be,
dead now.
Yeah,
That would be the little one waging her war against everybody.
I think Mom was swinging the hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good to see you, sir. And in the Western Command Center, holding down the bunker, actually joining us on time for once, I summon him. The man we've named the podcast after. The Golden Goon, the Kaiser, the one with the hair. Goon?
And I am here. Matt, question for you.
Shoot.
Define fancy as a noun.
As a noun?
Yes. As in tickles your fancy.
It's a figure of speech.
Yeah, but what the fuck does it mean?
I don't know. I mean,
I think we all know what it means.
yeah, we all know what the phrase means.
But what is a fancy and why are you tickling it?
You're sitting in front of a computer.
You're sitting on your fancy right now.
What?
If I'm not
You
mistaken.
Google that shit.
You said the thing, so I was saying if you knew what the thing meant.
I know what the phrase means. You don't
Probably
have to break
just-
down
What
the
does
phrase.
the thing mean?
The thing?
Yeah.
What is
whatever.
the fancy?
Yeah, what is the fancy?
It's probably just
What
a
is the fancy?
What's a jabroni?
It's
kind of like a pepperoni made out of an idiot. I don't know.
So I do know what a jabroni is. It's actually a wrestling term, which used to be jobbers. So it was all the guys that they went in to get their asses kicked. They were the jobbers in wrestling, and they became jabronis.
Me too.
Red, close my door, please.
Hi, Scarlett.
All right, well, report back to us when you figure out what fancy means.
I think
I'm not going with
fancy used to. Well, it's probably just they mispronounced it or misspoke or something. It's probably fanny because tickle your fanny means something. So
Really good, sir.
All right, here we go. We're going off the rails already. Tickle my fancy. Oh, you can look up tickle my fancy in Punjabi if you want.
Cool.
okay,
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's attracting or tempting. It's just the whole phrase. So I don't know why we need to define the single word of the phrase.
Because I don't understand.
When do you ever?
Most of the time, I just pretend like I don't because it's fun.
All right.
Oh, Matt, I got Michaela's Christmas or birthday presents today.
Is that a Rocky?
No, it's
That's a Rocky.
the lion from the Royals.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
Got it.
and then
Got it.
a big
Okay.
ass
oh,
squishmallow
Good
that's
Lord.
a sugar skull.
Sugar Skull Mellow.
is she a Royals fan or does she just like mascots?
She fucking loves mascots.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
huge fan of the mascot.
Tickle. I get the phrase "tickle my fancy" is like piques my interest, but I know what my interest is and why I'm trying to pique it. I don't know what my fancy is and why I'd want to tickle it. That's the whole point of the conversation.
Moving on.
Somebody asked a question. Somebody was trying to explain. I'm going back to the beginning for him.
Okay, so I can actually potentially help you on this one.
We're not
here we
moving
go.
on.
not moving on.
We're not moving
We're
on.
so not moving on.
You knew we weren't moving on.
We were not
Apparently,
gonna
it derives
move on.
from fantasy.
Ah,
What fancy
Oh.
does. So it's your fantasy. It's a pursuit of imagination, essentially.
That makes a lot of fucking sense.
And Mark Triffin says he'll tickle your fancy.
Is he texting that in?
So
Or
in
is
other
that
words,
on
you're
your
stroking your fantasy.
That's a text.
I will text him back, dear Triffin.
Thank you for watching, Triffin.
Well, we understood that part. Yeah, that's
Right. All right. So before we move into the meat and potatoes, I do want to tell you that today's podcast is brought to you by the Austin Denton Foundation. If you get a chance to check out the Austin Denton Foundation online in memory of an outstanding young man, their big fundraiser in the spring is this weekend in Albuquerque at Top Golf, and I will be there. Go check them out. Go support. Go do all the things. The Austin Denton Foundation. There you go. All right, we have a bit, boys.
Are we there?
We're actually
already?
gonna do a thing. Yeah, no, not that bit.
Oh.
That bit later
I
on.
don't think we're
Oh.
allowed
We
to
have a
show
bit.
that on here.
Yeah, right. We are going to do a fantasy draft. We are going to pick in 3 rounds your pizza toppings, your favorite pizza toppings. And I have done a little bit of groundwork and plugged our names into a fancy schmancy randomized draft order generator. And
He went on a website and punched 3 numbers in and yeah.
Yep, I did. So there can be whatever. It's random. That's all you need to know. Tank, Mark, then me. Tank, Mark, then me.
Motherfucker, you made that sound way fancier than it needed to be.
I know.
I did a little legwork.
Can we put a moratorium on the word fancy for the rest of the podcast? 'Cause I think we've hit our limit. Using the
I
word
can bring
fancy.
Steph in here. She can start singing that Reba song.
I was gonna say I got a bunch of songs.
Right.
Plus, isn't there
All
a
right.
Mariah Carey song, "Fantasy"? We can do that too.
Yeah. What's the
Tank.
Oh, my
here
pizza
we go.
topping. I mean, if I'm leading off, I'm going to lead off with the game winner, the pepperoni.
All right. Tank is picking pepperoni. All right, Mark, you're next up. Who do you got?
There's a lot of ways this can go. I mean, do you go classic? Do you go awesome? I think I am going to go for the unspoken pizza topping, cheese.
Okay.
Are we
Sure.
talking extra cheese or cheese in general? Because
I think that I'm actually not going to allow that. You're going to have to pick a topping. The crust, the sauce, and the cheese are implied. Put something on top.
All right. Well, that wasn't introduced in the rules, so
unless you're introducing
fine.
a separate kind of cheese, so beyond the normal mozzarella.
no. I am going to select mushrooms.
That's a good one.
Mushrooms. There is a fungus among us.
I wonder if Pops wants some fish on his pizza.
Yeah, right. And someone's screaming for Asiago, and I don't have it up, so I don't know who that is.
Can't see that one.
I am going to go a little bit also subtle. I'm going to go with green chili. There are just some
Interesting one.
amazing pizzas up there with green chili. It's got to be Hatch. Hatch green chili
Yeah,
is
it
the
has.
spirit
It's
of Philly.
very specific.
Yeah, and I get embarrassed when Colorado people start screaming about Pueblo, and Pueblo chili is good, but it ain't Hatch. Let's just get that straight. So I'm going with green chili.
Yeah.
All right, Tank, you're up.
This is a snake draft. I believe it's your turn.
That's fine. Just go.
So I have the Asiago person, I believe, is Toaster. And the reason why he's saying Asiago is because it's the missing pizza topping on the thin crust.
Because we don't do Asiago anymore.
That's where the Asiago is coming
that's
from.
what that is. Okay. That makes all the sense in the
All
world.
right, so who's
up? Tank, you're up.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go jalapenos.
Good
choice.
Good job.
Good
Okay.
choice.
I like the pie you're building, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing
Absolutely.
well. All right, Mark.
I will go with the devil's ham. Canadian bacon.
Canadian bacon. All right. Mushrooms and Canadian bacon. Can't go wrong there.
Good combo.
Good combo.
That is a solid pie.
It's not in the top 10. Stop. I like anchovies. Don't get me wrong, but it's not going in the top 10.
Yeah. Anchovies are fine. There's got to be a lot of other stuff going on with that pizza. Otherwise, it's a salt lick.
Yeah.
Also, that's like picking a kicker with your first pick. You just don't do it.
No, you leave the anchovies to the 4th, 5th round, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. And we're only doing 3,
so
don't hold your breath. All right. All right. For the controversial
best bit we've done in a long time. I'm getting text messages. I'm getting up on Discord.
Oh, I love it.
I have a call for artichoke hearts.
Yeah. I got that one too. Thank you, Triffin. Triffin, if you were drafting, you could have.
By the way, Dad, if you got to hold your breath, you probably shouldn't be eating it.
Right. If you right.
That applies to a lot of things. Let's leave it there.
Let's keep this Facebook safe, shall we?
Yeah, let's. I'm gonna go again. And
I told you it's not my joke. It's not my joke. I told you.
I know, and we bleeped it out of that episode for a reason.
I know.
Oh man!
And you said it was his joke.
I told
anyway,
you it was his joke.
When I get back into Facebook, Mac, that's gonna get the win. All right. I'm going with sausage here, fellas. The Italian sausage.
That's a good choice.
I
thought about it both rounds. I thought about it both rounds.
Yeah, a good spicy Italian sausage, and you get like the occasional fennel seed.
The toasty fennel.
Oh,
toasty fennel.
Oh, so good. All right, Tank, your last topping on your fantasy pie.
This one's probably controversial, but I'm okay with that. I like black.
You're probably going to
olives.
steal. Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
I'm with it. I like that pick a lot.
When you said controversial, I thought you were going.
I'm not going to go
direction.
pineapple on my.
No, but I am.
And if you weren't, I was.
I have no issue with pineapple, but it doesn't fit with my jalapenos and pepperoni.
Sure, it does.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Oh,
it
pineapple's great with
does.
everything.
Yeah. We tell you what, there's a New Mexico pizzeria. They've got a couple of places. One not far from you, Tank, called Dion's, and the green chili pepperoni pineapple pie.
That's a real thing.
Yeah,
that's a real thing.
Yeah,
you can get that there, and at Dion's.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And they use Hatch chilies, and their green chili ranch and their ranch dressing in general.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't really like ranch, I have to have Dion's ranch in my refrigerator.
That sounds interesting. All right.
Yeah,
I'll check that one out this week.
How Colorado style it's dipped in honey, New Mexico style it's dipped in ranch.
I love Bojo's pizzas.
Yeah. All right, Mark, you're up.
No, I just went
Oh, here's that
pineapple.
Okay. I mean, I was gonna let you at least announce it.
Oh no, that was me announcing it.
All right, I'm going to go off the rails a little bit with a green chili sausage pie. There's a lot of heat going on there. Potentially, you need something to cool down the heat. And there's a pizza topping that nobody knows about that I absolutely love, especially on spicy pizza, and that is cream cheese.
Oh yeah,
Little bits of cream cheese.
Cream cheese. That's the only thing you could add to that sausage.
See, I thought you were going to go feta.
Feta would work if it was other stuff in front of it. Like if it was like black olives, artichoke hearts, feta, that would be spectacular.
Yeah.
Cream cheese. I've never had cream cheese on a pizza.
Oh, cream cheese on a
good.
pizza.
Yeah,
it's really good.
It's to die for.
Yeah.
Go get you a double deckeroni, add cream
Double
cheese.
deckeroni with cream cheese will change your life. Absolutely.
Is that also at Dion's?
No, that's at Old
Oh,
Chicago.
okay. I didn't know that. I've never had that before. All right.
Yeah, it's delicious.
All right, so Tank, your pies, pepperoni, jalapeno, and black olives, going with the tried and true. Mark with the mushrooms, Canadian bacon, and pineapple.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. And I've got green chili sausage.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. No, I was kind of trying to come up with a word. And awesome was when it came up. So I was celebrating you, not mocking you.
Okay.
And then I went with green chili sausage and cream cheese.
Those are three pretty
I
good.
actually want to try the two of yours that you guys have put together.
We've all had yours.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, that's
absolutely not. That's a delicious pie right there.
That's the Kansas Jayhawks of pizza. Everybody knows it. Everybody's had it. Everybody's seen it. It's good. You know it's going to be good. You know what you're going to get. You're going to win 20 games. You're good. So. All right, good job, guys. That was a fun bit.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, let us move on to NFL news and notes. A few things to touch on. The Ballad of Lamar Jackson, gentlemen, continues. Couple of fun things that have happened in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you're familiar with Meek Mill, the rapper, but apparently he tweeted at Robert Kraft about them getting Lamar Jackson onto the Patriots.
Yeah, he said Lamar wants to go to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. And there's a theme to what we're going to be talking about with this Lamar stuff. And the next point, we'll also call that out too. But Tank, rappers are now taking up the cause of Lamar Jackson. React.
It's honestly not much of a surprise. I mean, there is some crossover with the music and sports industries. So the fact that he kind of took up for him and said something about it is interesting. I want to know where he got that information more than anything.
They're probably friends. I don't know, but they're probably friends.
Yeah, but just the same, if you're friends, did you give him the okay to spill that to you or no?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You think that came from Lamar's like, hey, go ahead and say it. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they don't really have any receivers there, but you're going to run into the same issue, I think, that you're having with the Ravens and not having any receivers.
I just don't think he likes Jim Harbaugh at all. I mean, I know he's burnt with the organization too, but I think he's done with Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, and he doesn't like the OC either at all. Apparently.
Right.
Bye, Mama Sue.
Hi, Mama Sue.
Hey, Mama.
Mark, you got anything here? Meek Mill?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by any of this.
We've said the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And then there was a memo that came out about a week ago from the NFL to all of the teams that said, hey, there's a guy going around calling teams, trying to get them to enter into contract negotiations. Yeah. And apparently this guy is a potential business partner of Lamar, and he's got some product called the Entire Gym, and it's some sort of workout equipment you can put in a suitcase. Like you travel with it. And he's like
shit,
calling.
Right? I mean,
it's got to be. I don't know. I know nothing about the product, but he was calling teams like, "Hey, you should call Lamar."
cool, but Where did this dude come from out of nowhere and just start speaking on his behalf? That's wild.
I guarantee you that's not one of Lamar's friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh, it is.
wondering. It sounds like this
Oh,
guy's-
that is one of his friends?
Lamar is apparently invested in this thing.
Oh my God.
So they're business partners on this deal. And I'm sure he said something, and the guy's like, "I'll make some calls." Like, yeah, sure you will.
Who is this guy? He's not an agent.
Yeah. Nobody
Yeah.
knows who this clown is, but
Yeah.
he's gonna go
Please
around.
please call your best bud Jim Irsay. Let's see how that worked out for you. Jabroni.
Oh my God, I didn't realize it was his friend.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't think it was that close
Right.
of a match. Eesh.
And it got to the point where the NFL had to send out a memo. Hey, this guy's not an agent. So and the whole thing, I think, is really driven by the fact that Lamar is trying to do it all himself. He doesn't want to pay the 10%. He doesn't have an agent.
Yeah.
And so the establishment is pushing back, right?
Yeah, pretty hard at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw a meme yesterday. It was someone had put an image on this meme that had the worst quarterback, constructing the worst quarterback in the league, and it was like Kirk Cousins after 1 p.m., Deshaun Watson's horniness, Mac Jones's ankle, Joe Burrow's wrist, and in the very corner away from the player, because it had all these like different colors of the different uniforms or whatever, and in the corner it said Lamar Jackson's agent. Like, that's the best part of the whole meme.
You know, they made the rest of the meme because of that.
Oh, probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
point,
That was
yeah.
the driving force behind all of it. How do you think this ends up here, guys? I mean, we're kind of poking fun at the whole process, but he's got to go somewhere. He's going to play. He's too good not to play someplace. Where is it that he's going to go, Mark? Starting with you.
I don't know. I mean, dude, how detrimental does he want to be? Like, is he going to not get traded, sit with the Ravens, and just sit out and lose all that money? Or there's a lot of, I don't know how this is going to end up. It's a really interesting situation though.
Tank, what do you think?
It's weird to think about where he's going to end up because at this point, legitimately, what are the options? There's a lot of people that have basically already said no. So unless they're lying, which they very well could be,
Right.
there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of options on the table for him, except for maybe a trip to Indy or Washington.
Washington, Indy, or Atlanta?
At that-
Tampa Bay.
But even Atlanta kind of came out and said no with what's his face? Their owner already kind of said no.
Yeah, he declared the starter.
Yeah.
He's our guy, and we're going to continue
Yeah.
forward. And I can't even remember the guy's name.
Desmond Ritter? No.
Yeah.
Is it Desmond Ritter?
Yeah, yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
There you
He
go.
already kind of said no, we're not going to do that. There's too much potential for injury and all that stuff, which is a giant load of bullshit because they chased after Deshaun, who's been injured also. So
Could he possibly go to maybe like Green Bay when they trade Aaron Rodgers?
I don't think so. I think they're legitimately giving Jordan Love this shot.
Yeah, with the first round pick, I agree with that. I think they have to see what they've got, at least for a season. I mean,
New York?
If they don't sign Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, are you talking about the Jets or the Giants? Because he's not going to the
No,
Giants.
the Giants aren't going to
No,
pay him. Yeah.
No, they
Yeah,
just Tank's boy, Danny
Yeah,
Dimes.
they got Vanilla Vic over there. They don't need Lamar.
Vanilla Vic.
God. How long have you been holding on to that one?
Like, what, too.
Or did you run into that on
I ran
Twitter?
into that one on Twitter.
I was like, you've got to be holding on to
hilarious.
that for like a month.
Vanilla Vic. God.
Oh Christ! I was not
Yeah, the only
ready for
difference
that.
is Michael Vick actually could make a long touchdown run. Danny Dimes gets
He
tripped
fell
up
on
by
his
the
face,
grab.
yeah.
Hey, fellas, what about Tampa?
That's what I said too.
Baker's
I
there
missed
if they
it. I
want
said
to
Tampa Bay.
turn it into a competition.
There's no competition.
I agree with you,
I mean,
but
right,
it seemingly they don't have the intention on pursuing that if they went
Right.
after Baker. So
Right.
I think they're blowing everything up at the moment.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Like the only other place I could think of where there might be a spot, right? I mean, who knows?
The reality is that he is unfortunately very much getting screwed. And yes, everyone says, "Oh, he's a runner. The runners don't last." Okay, well, minus the several that have, and the fact that he's in the same draft class as a guy that literally got double his salary, and he takes way bigger hits every single game than Lamar does. And the fact that
Yeah.
Lamar got hurt in the pocket. It wasn't even on the run. He got hurt in the pocket.
Well, and not to say anything about, start a political argument or anything like that, but with the vaccine stuff, he just seems like he's taking it upon himself sometimes to be against all establishments.
And yes, there is a
And
little bit
I
of that.
think that's hurting part of what's happening here, because essentially you've got to, you're trading for this player, right?
Yeah.
So he's working his, he's got no agent. He's, running quarterback. He's trying, he's just doing too many things to separate himself from everybody at once. And that's definitely hurting him in this situation.
I think you're right about that. I think the history of him basically.
Oh, that's coming out in post.
Do you need to excuse yourself, sir?
One moment, please. A few moments later.
A few moments later.
Oh, it's like she was in the room.
I looked. I don't know if you saw that, but I looked over my shoulder. Thank you,
Yeah,
whoever that is.
That's awesome. If you can't see it,
Those of you,
if you can't see it, one of our avid Facebook watchers just gave us the timestamp to when to remove the audio.
for those of you who are not longtime listeners, we used to record this, and
Toaster.
Michaela used to like hack jobs on this thing, and cut out. So these long interludes of laughter are not unusual for us.
Right? Yeah, this happens a lot.
You guys are just finally getting to see it.
Yeah, because we're doing it live.
As I was saying, you're not wrong. He does tend to fight against the storm in a lot of situations. So maybe people are just worried about him being too open, I guess, being too honest about his own opinions.
Or
And
just
public.
counter the public opinion, in almost every situation. I'm going to be agentless. I'm not going to change the way I play. I'm going to go against the COVID vaccines, and it's all very against what's established and well known. And I think that's hurting him with a lot of these owners who have to give up the cost of it.
And you could be right. That could be the biggest thing hampering him right now. I don't think it's the mobile quarterback thing. I think that is a false flag, because look at who's one of the most celebrated quarterbacks right now? Josh Allen. That dude takes bigger hits than most quarterbacks ever have. He gets the same kind of stuff that Cam got for a long time, where he just gets waylaid when he's in the open field. And he got a contract 2 years ago, and he didn't win MVP at any point.
He's also a lot bigger.
that only kind of, I mean, yes, but that you're still getting. Look what happened to Cam. He's the same size as Josh Allen, and
Right.
where is he?
Well, all you have to do is look back at Super Bowl 50. Cam's career effectively ended in that game, and he was not the same player after
No.
that game.
No, and it's because
And
he
he
would take
played himself out of the
huge-
league.
and
Yep.
he was taking huge shots. He damaged his shoulder, and he couldn't recover.
Yep.
And I understand the idea of, you don't want to get your quarterback hit too much. I'm like, okay, but like a couple of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league right now take some pretty massive shots because they do try to escape the pocket. I think that part is bullcrap, and anyone that tries to use that is just going to the quickest scapegoat they can and saying, "Oh, we don't want a guy that's going to get hurt because he's running."
I just think he hurts himself a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
think the
Yeah.
agent thing is the biggest part of it, right? I think
But- And it's the off the field stuff. It's the counterculture stuff. It's the counter establishment stuff. It's those kinds of things, and the idea that he is not going to shut up about it. And in general, the establishment does not like that.
do you think maybe the money has something to do with it too? Do you think he's still looking for Deshaun dollars?
I think he is looking for Deshaun dollars, and I don't think he's going to get that. I think the only person that might get that is if Burrow takes the Cincinnati deep into the playoffs again. He might get that, but I think he deserves just under that. He should probably get close to what Josh Allen's getting at least. And I think that is a big thing. And the issue is the Deshaun one it was so wild how that played out. And that is an anomaly in the quarterback contracts thing because it didn't make any sense. And it still doesn't make any sense. He hasn't proven anything.
No.
Right.
And I think the expectation should be a little bit lower than that. I mean, yeah, they let the cat out of the bag when Cleveland decided to dump everything into Deshaun Watson, but there should not be an expectation that you're going to get five years and $230 million guaranteed. That's a wild thought to have,
Very well could be. Well, it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it all plays out the next couple of weeks. I have a feeling it'll probably be settled before the draft because picks are what they are. And if something's going to happen, if he moves, it's going to be before the draft. And if he doesn't move, he's stuck where he's going to be. I think he's going to be on the Ravens one way, shape, or form if he's not gone before that day.
I think a trade happens. I think someone bites the bullet on it, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either way, to be honest. It could go either way. I mean,
and I think he will get the 40 to 45 contract, which I'd say has earned because he's been playing off that rookie deal. So he got $25 million last year. He got, $20 million, whatever the year before. That's incredibly low for his talent level.
right.
So,
right. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. Let's move on to some other news and notes in the NFL. The annual meetings just wrapped up. Really, the only thing I saw that was mildly interesting was now people can wear the jersey number 0. Okay. Sure.
Were you going to go to me?
No, I was not. I was not. You were.
yeah, there's not a whole lot that came out. And then kickers can now have 0 to 49.
Right.
And it's silly bullshit. The only one that did come out that was kind of weird is the primetime flex schedule thing.
Mm-hmm.
And now that teams can play multiple Thursday games in a year.
And you can get flexed into a Thursday.
Yeah. Out of nowhere.
Time out. What?
Yeah.
Really?
You can be flexed into a Thursday now.
Oh, there's not much in this but the number 0. What? They can flex you from a when do they have to tell you?
15 days.
That's the discussion right now. They have not actually agreed on that yet, but the proposed is 15 days. So they have to give you at least 2 weeks notice to.
Mm-hmm.
And is this an all season thing or is it like the last 10 weeks of the season or whatever?
All season based on what they said.
That's fucking dog shit.
There's going to be some teams that are not going to be happy that their superstar players are going to be forced into another Thursday game on short
Right.
notice.
Not only that, but all the just the fans
Oh yeah, that's gonna
rearranging
change fans.
schedules and
Oh, yeah.
doing all kinds of shit. It's
Right.
just I think that's fucking shit.
Yeah.
That is awful.
And
That
they
is
did not-
really bad.
They
And
did not raise your roster cap, and they did not increase the pay, and they did not
Right.
do anything to kind of compensate for the idea that not only did you guys add an extra game last year, but now you can, on
Right.
short notice, give someone an extra Thursday night game on a short week.
And that's the biggest part
is it
of
two
the
per year? Is it whenever, wherever?
Based on what they said, there is no technical limit to it.
and I'm sure that will probably change, right?
That
It's
will
gonna be-
probably change because
that will
of-
probably change.
Please tell me that that's wrong. That is fucking awful.
Well, it's super awful for the people that are going to be flexed into those games.
Right.
Like the Chiefs, the Bills.
I don't honestly, the players, whatever. I know there's going to be the injury and all that stuff because Thursdays people do get more injured.
Yep.
But just the modern, like the season ticket holders have to rearrange their entire schedules or
Well, it's
say
not
that
even
they
the,
flex. Hold on. So people that have like vacations planned months in advance suddenly, because the Raiders are pushing to the playoffs, they're on a Thursday instead of a Sunday now. But you didn't know that, so that's fucking dog shit.
and that's what I was
think
going to
that's
say.
Terrible.
I was going to say that it really impacts super negatively the people who get to go to one game a year, right?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
and they planned for a couple years and saved up, and this is the game that they picked, and they got the tickets, and all of a sudden 2 weeks out, oh, it's Thursday now. And a lot of the pushback I've seen,
Players are pissed.
players for sure, and they're talking about the fan piece. There was an owner that talked about the fan piece. I don't remember who it was. JJ Watt, a former player.
I think it was Arthur Blank, wasn't it?
It was either Blank or Ursane. I don't remember who.
It could have been
I
both.
Could be wrong
to
on
be
both.
honest.
Yeah, but I think, like Tank said, it's not official yet. I don't know if it's going to be official. I think they floated it out there. I don't think it's going to happen this year.
I think $13 billion buys you a little bit of leeway on what you get to do with your streaming service. Because
That's true.
I think that's all it was. Is Bezos came out and said,
You
Our
got to start
viewership
giving me
sucks.
better games because
Yeah.
Right.
I need better games than
Yeah.
the crap that we put on display this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the answer. Like they put it out there, like we've got to do something. They put this out there, and then the solve is the next year the games get better.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
And they won't announce that that's the solve, but that's the solve. Right. So
You can't. But the whole problem is you can't guarantee that the game's going to get better. They had Thursday. What was the game? It was two really crap teams that played well all of a sudden on Thursday. Why can I not remember? Either way, it was. I think it was like the Texans and was it Texans and Indy or something? They ended up having a really like badass shootout, but that on paper looks like a shit game,
Right.
You know. And just the same, they flexed the Chiefs and Broncos game out of prime time, and that ended up being an amazing game.
right.
So,
But
you don't really
you can't,
know.
right? And you're right.
Yeah.
And they do these things on paper to begin the season or before when they write the schedule. So you can put enticing matchups on Thursday nights that, if you're going into this season, let's say you've got Indy or let's say Atlanta and Carolina are going to play each other on a Thursday night. Doesn't sound like a great game, right? But if you've got Dallas and the Giants, you're going to get a lot of eyeballs. May not be the better game, but you're going to get a lot of eyeballs. And I think that's what this whole thing is about getting more people to watch Thursday night and to sign up for Prime to do it.
Well, and yeah, look at what happened with Detroit. They had 0 primetime games last year, and they ended up being an exciting team to watch all the way up until their final game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, wow,
Right.
that was
Yeah, you
out
never
of
know.
nowhere. This team becomes good and
Never know.
interesting to watch.
Well, the Goon Squad is going to keep an eye on that for you out there in.
Oh, I'm sure we'll
Goon
hear
Squad
info.
land.
I think they have a deadline date of May, so
Yeah, so
sometime in the next.
We will
Month
update
or
you
so.
as more stuff happens. Gentlemen, the Commanders are officially for sale. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. The Snyders have moved out. in advance of a sale. And we do have two bidders. We've got the Josh Harris Magic Johnson Group. The Josh Harris company already owns the Devils and the Philadelphia 76ers. And Canadian billionaire Steve Apostopoulos. I nailed it. And it looks like the bidding price for both of these is $6 billion, which is 1.6 more than the Broncos got. Guys, what do you think?
They do technically have a more expensive franchise somehow.
Yeah. It's just funny because what if the Broncos, the owners decide to sell again in like a decade? They probably will at that point double or triple their money.
Oh yeah.
This is just hysterical. Like every franchise that sells now is going to be 7 million, 8 million. It's just the amount of money that's circling hands is unfathomable to me.
Oh, it's unfathomable to 99.999% of people in America.
Once you start talking about billions, that's
fathomable.
Fathomable.
Yeah. Once you go from million to billion, it's a big jump.
Yeah, that is a lot. And I think the positive thing about this is we're finally going to get rid of Dan Snyder. Oh my God.
Yeah, thankfully, and hopefully they replace him with a non-poverty owner that'll actually do something to fix the field and increase player morale,
and who isn't an asshole. I mean,
who isn't a degenerate scumbag.
Right. He's not a jerk-faced jabroni. So that's the positive out of all of it. Like you said, it's monopoly money, right? At this point. But
at that point, yeah. If you start playing with billions, it's a weird number.
Right.
So
more to come there. Finally in the NFL, what do you have?
Fathomable.
There you go.
Aaron Rodgers has not been officially traded yet, but the talks continue. The last offer I heard, or the last hang-up I heard, was that the Jets were looking for a compensatory pick if he only plays one season, and that seems to be the biggest hang-up because they want something back if they only get him for the 1 year.
Which is understandable. But I don't think that's kind of... What pick are they looking to get exactly?
Probably like a third rounder.
I heard it was a 2.
They want a 2 as a compensatory pick?
Yeah.
Well, I guess you better hope he plays for 2 years then, huh?
Right.
Because...
Right.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens there. No news yet as far as... Yep, but they're working on it. All right. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark. So we've got a new bit this week. Tank and I just have to sit here and listen as Mark dives into the deep recesses of his tortured brain and spits a hot take. Could be anything. We asked him to stay within a few non-controversial lines. But we can't yell at him. We can't say anything to argue with him. This is Mark's hot take of the week.
Okay, I thought about a lot of these things, but this is one that, Matt, I think you got to see me play this one out. Tank, I may have told you about this. So the World Baseball Classic just ended like last week or 2 weeks ago. And who won the World Baseball Classic? Japan won the World Baseball Classic. Do you know that Japan has won all but 3 of the World Baseball Classics? Did you know that?
I did not.
I did not, but that weirdly makes sense.
The U.S. has won 2, and I think there's a country, there's one other country who's won it once.
Cuba would be my guess.
I can't remember exactly, but it's always been Japan. The point being, how dare we assume that the World Series goes straight through America? So I propose right now that the winner of the World Baseball Classic gets to take the World Series trophy to their country for the next years and use it for their professional baseball league for the champion of the world. That would force the U.S. to get better at baseball and win it back. Until then, they don't deserve it.
This has been Mark's hot take of the week.
Oh, I thought he was going to go longer. Okay.
He gave the nod. I figured that was it. When he fires off the bungy nod and goes,
This one.
Yep, that one. Yep, that one. When he fires off the bungy nod, it's all over. So, all right.
And you know, I'm looking at looking for reactions from both of you as I'm doing the whole thing.
Oh, I have a reaction.
However, we cannot. So there you go. Mark put
There
it out
you go.
there.
I will say Japan does have one of the best baseball players alive currently, so good for them.
Mhm.
The best baseball player alive.
At this point, probably yes. 'Cause
Maybe
that
ever.
dude is a machine on both sides of the plate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
God,
not
dude,
a hot
and-
take.
yeah,
He might be the best baseball player of all time. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk
Could be.
about these athletes being so much better than they were 100 years ago. And Jesus
Hell,
Christ.
30 years ago.
And he's dominating on both sides.
yeah.
He's not even doing it proficiently. He's owning both sides.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
never been done before.
Right.
Not to this degree. No.
He's the best baseball player
Right.
I've ever seen.
He
Ever. He's
Got,
the best baseball player we'll ever see.
got unlucky that a dude from New York decided to break a. God, how old was that record?
Oh, the AL home run record.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. Which, no slight on him. He is a fantastic outfielder and hitter, but that's nothing
Right.
compared to what Shohei does.
That dude is.
Yep.
Whew.
All right. Let's move on to the NBA. The Nuggets have 7 games left. They are 3 up. They've won 4 straight, but that's not the news. The news is Joel Embiid is a scared little bitch.
I knew there was going to be a bitch in there somewhere.
Oh, man.
I knew the word bitch was going to be in there.
Was coming. Philadelphia 76ers came into town on Monday night, and in true to form, Joel Embiid has not played in Denver since 2019. Load management. Gentlemen, I say that's a load of horseshit. What say you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd say this past week proved that Jokic should be MVP again. I mean,
Yeah.
he beat both the he beat the Sixers obviously without their all-star, but that's because, like you said, he decided to hide and then stomped a hole through the Bucks a couple days ago. So
Yeah.
that's both the other MVP leaders that he decided to
Mhm.
beat into submission in the same
Right.
week. So
Yep. And in true to form, the actual things that happen on the court are what is driving the odds. FanDuel has them at even at both plus 125. Caesars has them even at minus 115. A points bet has Joker with a slight edge at plus 115, and Embiid's at a plus 125. Giannis is at 320, 200, and 275. On the positive side, all the way across, it's a 2-horse race, and I think it's a done deal.
it seems like it now at this point that Giannis is not going to get it.
Right. And I think the straw poll is coming out this week again.
It should be,
the guy that actually polls all of the voters. So the last time that one was out, it was like a 79% Joker MVP.
So we'll see.
We shall see.
And yeah, Nuggets looking good. And toughen up on the defense a little bit once again, especially in the late game. And God, that's gonna be a dangerous team to go against in a series, it looks like.
That second unit is still trash, though, huh?
Oh God, it is. I know. It's miserable.
And I was at the game on Monday, and it looked like the bench was going to be off doing bench things again, and it took them a little bit to get going. And I think it was Bruce Brown hit a 3, and that seemed to get the bench going. And they were actually positive in the first half from a plus minus perspective. Joker was doing Joker stuff. I mean, the guy had a triple double with what did I say? 5 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, something like that.
Ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
You watch this stuff on TV and then you watch him live, and it's just unbelievable how he just dominates a game. And if you're not like paying attention, you don't notice it.
It looks so natural, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just looks so fluid.
Absolutely effortless.
Wild part.
He's so fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely effortless. So like I said, we got 7 games left. They're up 3. The Kings are back 6, so they got no shot. It's really another 2-horse race. You've got Memphis and the Nuggets, and the Nuggets just need to hold serve, and they'll have the number 1 seed in the West. Good times. Moving on to the NHL, the Avs are playing really well. Playing right now in a huge game against the Minnesota Wild. This is for first place. They are a point behind the Wild with the game in hand, and they are playing right now, and it's currently 2-1 Minnesota with 3 minutes in the first. But it's a long game; things could happen. Gentlemen, they're 9-1-0 in their last 10 and playing really, really good hockey. What do you think is going to happen the rest of the way in the regular season? Do they have a shot to get the first place?
They have a shot. I mean, they really, really do need to win today, though.
Yeah, it's a 4-point game. This is big.
Yeah. They've been playing really well on offense, obviously. Still think they need a little bit more heart on the defense. Hopefully that happens. They can get it, though. I mean, but they absolutely have to win, I think, today.
Mm-hmm. The blue line got a little bit more healthy. EJ came back. Mark, Sammy G in his last game tied his career high with 6 goals. That's good to see. Because he's not big enough to really play defense, but whatever. I've only been saying that for 5 years. But the team is playing well. They're gelling well. It seems like they're getting healthy at the right time. This could be a really fun run.
But are they getting healthy?
Seemingly, supposedly.
Where's the captain?
That's the question.
Still riding pine right now.
I got to make sure I say it every time we are up on the Nugget or Avalanche and down on the Avalanche. Without Gabe, they're not going anywhere. I mean, they might win a playoff series, but they're not getting to where they want to be.
I will say this, though. McKinnon is just a fucking monster on offense. And
he's a great player.
They are very lucky they have him.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you've got 2 of the top 5 players in the world on the same team, and they can field them both at the same time, that's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, still 2-1. They're getting outshot 10-8. So if they can get that shot number turned around, I think it might be a good result tonight. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully.
We'll see what happens.
Right? We'll see what happens. Moving on to Major League Baseball. Mark, it's a national holiday tomorrow. Opening day.
Da, 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 da. Yeah. Opening day.
Why were you gonna sing New York?
Start
New York?
spreading the news. I was just gonna start spreading the news.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a New York thing. I'm like, who are you? What have you done with?
No, fuck that.
Right. We will. In the next podcast, we will bring back the Spiders Cup bit. Tank, it's a lot of fun. We try to predict and track which teams are going to lose 100 games or more. Yep. And the only reason why it's interesting is because the Rockies are always in it until late August.
Yep.
I don't think on my own team, but
we got to explain why the Cleveland Spiders, though.
Right. Go ahead.
They lost 132 baseball games at one point.
I don't think that's ever going to happen again. Like
no.
But that's why they're the Cleveland Spiders.
Like
that's why it's
that happens is if you lose your entire team in a plane crash, basically.
What was it?
They traded their whole team away, inclling one Ty Cobb.
Well, no, I'm saying these days.
That's
because no one's going to. Well, There have been some teams that basically traded everyone away.
No, that's
So,
literally what they did.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you're going to get to that degree of
Ineptitude.
yeah. They basically had a Division II college team in there at that point. So
Yep. So we will track the run to the Spiders Cup.
Mm-hmm.
My money
God,
on Colorado.
Colorado has to be a front runner, right?
Yeah, they're up there. The Nationals are going to be really bad. The Detroit Tigers are
Detroit
going to
is
be really
terrible,
fucking
yeah.
bad. I mean, they're all their hopes right now are just we've got Miggy. We got Miguel Cabrera and Austin Matthews, and that's what they got.
The Rangers are still crap.
The fucking Oakland
Mhm.
Athletics have us playing for them this year. They are fielding a beer league team.
There is very often where they basically have us on there and they still manage to win more games than the Rockies. Sometimes.
The Pittsburgh Pirates are going to be real bad this year. They're real bad every year. So why
I
would
was
that
gonna
change?
say, they do exactly what the Rockies do: build up a player and then trade him away.
Yep. And along the same lines, the Cincinnati Reds are going to be disgustingly awful. I'm also hoping that KC will be in that group too. They look really bad on paper. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. There's just so much. Arizona is probably not going to be very good again. There's a lot of hope for bad baseball.
There really is at this point, isn't there? God.
Yeah. And you know what we say about bad baseball?
Legitimately 6 or 7 teams that could just eat shit all year long.
We say bad baseball is bad baseball.
Yeah.
Bad baseball is bad baseball. All right. We move from bad baseball to good baseball. Going around the horn, starting with you, Tank. Not going to hold you to it, but who do you think is going to win the World Series?
God, this year, I hate to say it. I hate myself for thinking it. The Yankees have a really good chance.
Yeah. I'm not going to agree with you, but they do.
I don't even agree with me, but
I don't think Mark could agree with you just on principle.
oh
Yeah,
no,
even if-
I don't even like saying it. It tastes
Yeah.
dirty coming out of my mouth, but they have a really good team.
I mean, the Dodgers are always going to be on the hot list, right? Like they're going to win the West and come out of the West, no problem. So they'll be in the NL Championship. The Braves will probably be there. They didn't get any worse this year. So the NL Championship is going to be Braves Dodgers. I've got the Braves going to the World Series, National League. I'm looking at the Blue Jays, Yankees. Maybe the Guardians are going to be good this year. I on principle have to go with the Blue Jays and the Guardians on principle, just knocking the Yankees out. And I will say that the Guardians with Terry Francona will wind up in the World Series and get beat by the Braves.
I hope you're right on the Guardians going, but if they do what they do every year, they look great, and then they fall off a cliff.
Yeah, but they don't look that great this year. So I
So
think
maybe
Terry's
they're gonna win.
I think Terrible Terry's going to have to actually manage again for a little while.
Philly's going to be all right, but I don't see them getting out from underneath the Braves this year.
No, the Braves, if they can stay healthy, the Braves are the best team in baseball.
Yeah, that's a big thing, though. Can their bats stay healthy this year? Because they took a hit last year a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm surprised neither one of you guys mentioned
Houston. Yeah.
in any of that.
That's because I refuse
that's
to respect that team after they decided to do what they did and then tell everyone to kiss their ass afterwards.
Houston has this weird, post World Series slump. I don't know if you remember them doing that when they won it the last time. So I'm kind of seeing something like that happen again this year, where they'd barely make the playoffs and go out in the wild card or something like that.
Right.
That's all hope.
I was actually going to pick the Braves as well. I like the Braves. I've always liked the Braves. They're a team that I followed a lot in the early =90s, late '80s, early
That's
'90s.
because
It was just a lot
that
of
was
fun to
the
watch.
only that was the only baseball we could get.
Well, we had cable. We could watch games on TV. It wasn't like growing up when I had WGN and WTBS, and it was the Cubs and the Braves
that was
every
it.
single day. And, holy cow! Hey,
I didn't
the
have
moon
that.
was made out of spare ribs. Would you eat it?
I didn't have that, but I was a Braves fan also. That's always been kind of my second
Jose
team.
Vizcaíno. I do miss drunk Harry Carey.
Oh my God, Harry Carey was great.
He was. Yeah, I had the Braves too, but yeah, who knows? I don't know nearly as much about baseball as other people on the panel, so my opinion means squat in terms of what that
I
prediction
think
is.
Braves and Yankees is a likely matchup.
Yeah, but
Could be.
Houston's going to drop off, and the Yankees are going to drop dead. So,
yeah. The top 5, The Athletic released their power rankings today. The top 5 are the Astros, the Braves, the Pods, the Yankees, and the Dodgers.
yeah, the Padres will undoubtedly spend a lot of money on players who will never hit their potential
And eat shit in the first round.
Yeah, and get beat the
it's-
fuck up by the Dodgers every year.
Right.
Doesn't matter how many bats you throw out there, you are getting it smoked anyway.
Right. All right, Mark, you got any other storylines you're looking
I
at
want to
this season?
see how bad the Rockies are going to be. And I want to see if the Red Sox actually have any pitchers. That'll be interesting.
That would
Corey
be-
Kluber is your opening day starter, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Kluber.
I mean,
Is that weird hanging arm guy?
No.
no.
Oh my God. Weird hanging arm guy.
He was a Red Sox, right?
Yeah, he
hanging
was a
arm guy?
closer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm not
Weird
watching Red
hanging
Sox
arm
baseball.
guy.
Weird hanging arm
No,
guy.
that's not Corey Kluber.
No.
We'll see if he can get as good as he was at one point in Cleveland.
He's got it, and Chris Sale is supposedly healthy this year, but he's been saying that for the last 15 years. It feels like so.
Well,
He
that
hasn't
dude,
been the same since the series.
gonna do that guy's such a nutbag anyway that even if he's healthy, that might not mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for baseball talk. The NCAA Final Fours this weekend, fellas, and there are no number ones.
Not only
left.
is there no number ones,
there are no number
twos
twos
or the threes.
no number 3s. This is about as wild as it's been
And
as long as
Yeah.
I can remember. I've never seen a tournament like this. I mean, with a 15 knocking off a 2, a 16 knocking off a 1 in the same week. I never seen anything like this. First game on Saturday at 5:00. FAU, the Cinderellas from Florida Atlantic University, a 9 seed, taking on the power of the Mountain West, the San Diego State Aztecs, who have been on an absolute tear. I'm really looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
that's a fun game.
who
Nobody
saw
thought
the
that.
Aztecs making it that deep?
Right.
Well, I mean,
They're good. They're good. They're a good basketball team, though.
Yeah,
They
but
got hot.
still, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they got crazy hot at the right time.
Yeah,
Right.
that'll be a fun game.
And the second, yeah, absolutely. And the second game is the Miami Hurricanes taking on UConn, a 5 versus a 4. Put that U down. It's
I love
disgusting.
Miami. I'm okay with that.
Gross.
There were a lot of people picking UConn to UConn to win the whole thing this year. So that pick doesn't super surprise me.
No, they've been a
Miami's
good
playing
team.
good basketball though.
Yeah, Miami's
Yeah.
playing great basketball.
UConn's got there are a lot of people that pick UConn to win this thing.
I think it's worth noting here, fellas, that there's not a single blue
No.
blood. There's no
Closest
Kansas.
thing is
no-
UConn.
UConn's a blue blood. They haven't been there
No.
they're not like a modern blue blood, but they still count.
If you ride on the coattails of the women's team, maybe.
Yeah, the women's team definitely.
Right. Even though they got bounced, but
That
never
happens once
that
every
never happens.
4
Yeah,
years.
Yeah, it's the first Sweet 16 they missed in like 16 years or
Some
something. I mean, that's
repulsive number. Yeah.
Ariema is just wizard, dude. That guy's just fantastic.
Good recruiter for sure.
I mean,
yeah.
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I always love
So
Final
who do you
Four
got
weekend.
now? Because I had Houston, and that did not happen.
I didn't fill out a bracket, so
No. I also did not fill out a bracket, and I'm glad I didn't because it would have been blown anyway.
All of them
Everything
were
surprised
by the end
shit
of
out
the
me.
first week.
Yeah. By the end of the second day, there were no perfect brackets after day 2. Not like the end of the first and second round.
Yeah.
Day 2, there were no
Bananas.
perfect brackets.
Quickly,
Right.
that happened actually.
I also had Houston. I thought Houston was the best team, but clearly I was incorrect in that assumption. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if San Diego State wins it all. Those guys are playing some great basketball. And I would love to see a San Diego State UConn
that would be
matchup.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'd be it.
See, I'm the opposite. I want to see an all Florida game. Just because I think that'd be an interesting matchup.
Oh, yeah. Right. Could be. You never know. Mark, who do you think is going to win?
Give me San Diego State.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I mean, they got a bunch of chances anybody, right?
San Diego State? Yeah. That's who you picked too.
I have them going. Would love to see. I would love to see it. I don't know if I would necessarily.
I'll pick them to win the whole thing.
There you go. All right. And Tank, you're going to pick Miami.
Take Miami on this one.
All right. Final news out of NCAA basketball. We would be remiss if we didn't call out history, gentlemen. University of Iowa, Caitlin Clark. First time ever, men's or women's, in an NCAA tournament game, had a 40-point triple.
Well, even
double.
the 40 points is wild.
Yeah,
let
that
alone
whole
a
thing is
triple-double,
just insane.
Right.
40 points by anybody in a college basketball game is that's a big number.
Yeah.
So
what an amazing performance by that young lady. And Iowa looks like they're the real deal. Could go all the
they
way.
got South Carolina, and that is the I think the odds right now are still with South Carolina taking it.
Right. Let's see what happens. We'll know.
An upset over there could be
week.
fun, though. Get Iowa to the national championship.
Exactly. There you go. All right. Last bit for the week before we send everybody packing. Everyone had the opportunity to come up with a dipshit of the week. I'll go ahead and start because I think mine is funny, but not necessarily specific. If you don't know, in Milwaukee, there was a couple of guys that robbed a home in Milwaukee, and they stole a bunch of tools and a bunch of technology and a bunch of other stuff. They get home, back to their lair of evil, and start putting whatever stuff they're going to put anywhere. But one of the things they took was a camera, and the camera runs on a battery. The camera got into the Wi-Fi and started broadcasting these people shuffling the tools and putting stuff around. The second half of the dipshit of the week is the Milwaukee police, who can't quite figure out who these guys are, even though they have a camera broadcasting. It's like, dude, look up an IP address. Come on. How hard is it? I don't.
You would think that'd be pretty solvable, I guess is a good way to put it. But yeah.
All right, Mark, go ahead.
I just sent you what I thought was the dipshit of the week, I think. Did you
What's
look
that?
at it?
Ouch. Okay.
Oh my God.
So you?
What? Oh my god! I didn't realize it was animated.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You're gonna have to describe this because it's like
so there's AI is now generating GIFs basically, and there's one of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Oh, weird they can't take my eyes off it though.
I know.
like the one with the giant plate of spaghetti that's got no shirt on. He's just nom 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 nom, just throwing down piles of pasta.
Wow.
Oh, God.
You guys can't stop watching it.
No, that's
I have broken
weird.
all of you.
All right.
What in the Eli Roth? This is horrifying. The eyebrows.
I broke the show.
Does this qualify as like one of those like Cronenberg body horror things?
Yeah, something Eli,
Totally.
right? Yeah.
Oh.
Now go check out at Weird Dale with 2 L's.
Good
Weird
Lord.
Dolly. Yeah, Dolly.
Yeah, Weird Doll E.
Yeah.
Yep, go check that out, and you can go see it for yourself because it's. We'll post it. We'll put it on when we post the episode. We'll link it.
Yeah.
Please, we'll at least call out.
Kind of playing on a loop right here.
Yeah, I know it's still on my screen. I had the Avalanche record up. Now I'm looking at Will Smith eating pasta nonstop, like a fucking gremlin.
It's horrifying.
It's hypnotizing.
So bad.
Craziest way ever. Good Lord.
This is just awful. This is just awful.
Neither
All right,
one of you
Tank.
can stop laughing.
You know what? I'm killing it.
Yeah, I'm
turning
gonna shut
off.
it.
Bang.
Oh.
Yeah, shut it off. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that was fun.
Well, I can't really top that, but all right.
No.
I'm gonna go
I
with the
believe
easy
you
one.
are correct.
Cam Newton saying he's better than 32 quarterbacks in the NFL. Fucking doofus. Sorry,
He's
Cam,
proved-
not anymore.
He has proved that he cannot.
Yeah, he had to actually go throw at Auburn's pro day.
Mhm.
You haven't had to do that for 10 years, Bubba.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the silliest comments I've heard this week for sure.
Yeah.
I don't even see him being a backup on most teams, to be honest.
Oh, he'll never take a backup role.
No, he'll never
He
will.
no, I don't think he could earn
He
a backup role at this point.
He could. I think,
I
he's
he
better.
could.
He could earn a backup role if he would take it, but he
With
wouldn't do it.
who? Tampa? Backup Baker?
That I would pay money to watch that.
Did Frank just name the episode?
That.
Will Smith eats spaghetti, backup Baker.
Backing up Baker. Yeah, he'll never do it, but he could absolutely be a backup quarterback.
I don't think so. Not a number 2, maybe a number 3. He has no shoulder anymore.
All he's got to do is hold a clipboard and go in twice a year.
Yeah, I really seriously question him being able to win twice a year.
I didn't say he had to win; just has to go in.
Oh, go in
I didn't say
twice
go
a year.
win. Yeah.
Oh, I think they'll put him in every game. and treat him like a
Vanilla
fullback.
Vic is pretty good for a title, but
Yeah,
that might be a
Vanilla Vic's
little
yeah.
that might be a little racially motivated.
But it's not disparaging towards either player.
No, but
Appreciate the
it's-
efforts of both.
No, it's right up there with Jason Williams and White Chocolate. And that-
right.
Which he was.
Oh, he absolutely. That man was fierce. Absolutely fierce. What a fun guy to watch. All right, Cam Newton, AI, Will Smith, and the guy that stole the camera and then took it home and let it plug into his Wi-Fi. Yeah. Or if you have to hold your breath, you probably shouldn't eat it. Yeah, that's a good title too. This is a little long. That one
Nice
might
callback.
actually-
That was a good one.
That's a good one.
Well done.
Yeah, well done. toaster's coming out with the gas, man. Well done. All right, final thoughts. Tank pimp. I mean, it's hard to believe this has only gone on for an hour and 15 minutes.
God. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts and pimp the things.
I'm excited for baseball. I actually want to go see a game. Unfortunately, we don't have opening weekend in Colorado this year. So
No, we almost never do.
I know. It's unfortunate. But yeah, Colorado sports kind of looks good, at least for hockey and basketball. So hopeful. And you can find me obviously here every week or every other week. Also on NTK on the alternating weeks. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all those things at Tank Knox or Knox Nostalgic Collectibles.
All right, Mark, take it away.
It's hard to tell if it's bad baseball if you're hammered and hanging out on the sun deck at Coors Field.
It is the best party deck in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best brewery ever, and they just happen to play baseball there.
And we are slowly on the march to Bobby Bonilla Day.
We are.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely on
Coming
the march to
soon.
Bobby Bonilla Day. There aren't many of those left. You know what I heard? I heard some really fun stuff about that today, too. So the Reds are still paying Ken Griffey.
That's depressing.
They'll be paying him for another 3 or 4 years. And then
Yeah, but he was worth it.
right. And somebody else is getting paid until like 2032. And I can't remember who it was. It was another name. Like, they're still paying that guy too?
It should be Ichiro.
Yeah, it probably is.
No, it wasn't Ichiro. It wasn't Ichiro. It was, I can't remember. I'll have to circle back and figure it out.
The Bobby Bonilla thing is hilarious because he didn't hardly play for him.
Right.
Washed out of the league.
Right.
He was out of the league within a couple, 3 years after that?
Oh, yeah. And they still pay him $1.5 million every year.
$1.5 million every single year. Don't have to do anything. Just look at your bank account. There you go.
Bobby Bonilla.
The funnier part of that
is for him too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is what they saved the money for and then lost their asses on that half too.
Yeah.
That's what makes it extra good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So funny.
Anything else, Mark?
No, baseball.
Gull Lagoon? Just baseball.
Oh,
all right.
baseball.
Baseball starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. You can catch My Brother's an Idiot on Facebook. Just search that very phrase. We'll get you in. It's at the Idiot Goons on Twitch and Twitter. Mark's Twitter is at Puffletime. My Twitter is at Pufflelupagus. You can catch me on TikTok at King Goon Smoke. Definitely look out for some stuff from the Austin Denton Foundation fundraiser this weekend. That'll be Sunday. I'll put some stuff up there. Plus, I've got more New Belgium and Bell's Brewing Tour stuff. I was able to go to Kalamazoo and hang out with the fine folks at Bell's Brewing last week. That was a hell of a lot of fun. But I'd never want to see another wheat beer, at least this month.
Oh, it's summertime.
Yeah.
Well, soon.
Where is the UFO coming from?
Where is that?
Really? Is that not?
That's got to be coming from you.
Is that my side? I don't.
Yeah.
Did a really loud car just drive by your house?
Slowly.
I can kind of hear a motorcycle like down that way. Maybe that's what it is. It just came through for some reason.
Wow, it sounded like something was landing on your roof.
No.
Yeah, you were about to get.
Oh, I'm starting to hear it more. I think they're getting closer.
How are they?
They just cut it off. Okay.
That was it. It was the motorcycle.
Must have been a motorcycle. Yeah.
Must have been the motorcycle.
What do you think they'll call the world? What do you think they'll call the Major League Baseball trophy this year, since it can't be the World Series?
We have gone past your hot take of the week, so we're not talking about that.
It's a Shohei Ohtani Memorial Trophy.
Memorial?
He's not dead yet.
He's in the prime of his career.
He's still alive.
He's still playing.
Memorial after they die.
Pre-posthumously.
For Tank. Oh my God.
Posthumously?
I don't-
What the fuck?
Pre-posthumously.
Pre-host-
Post-posthumously is when you get an award after you die. There's a pre.
Pre-posthumously.
For Tank Mark, the absent Muti. We love you, Muti. The absent dipshit. We love you, dipshit.
And Gene Mingo.
And Gene Mingo.